Yes, you are reading that title and thumbnail correctly. Motogp 23 has been accidentally leaked. Now, we haven't got a gameplay or anything, but we have got screenshots, we've got the box art, we've got a description, so we'll get straight into it then. So first of all, how has this happened? Basically, there is a website called geeky.com. From what I can gather, it seems to be one of the bigger game retailers in the Middle East. I've never heard of it personally before, but I imagine if you guys are from that area, you probably have heard of it because I think it is quite a big place. But effectively, they've added Motogp 23 as a game you can now pre-order on their store. I think they've jumped the gun with that. They probably shouldn't have done that. But it gives us a full description of the game. We've got box art, we've got screenshots. So I'll put some of the screenshots up in the background whilst I'm talking about this stuff. I do apologise that they are low resolution, but again, we're working with things that have been leaked here, so it's not all going to be 100%, looking amazing, so I do apologise for that one. And you'll also see in one of the pictures, Jack Miller's still got his old helmet, so again, it is just sort of pre-release screenshots, so do ignore little things like that. There's also a couple of inconsistencies with Banyai's number size from picture to picture as well, but that's just what you're going to get with these things. But first things first, we have actually got a provisional release date listed there, the 8th of June 2023, which does line up with how Milestone do tend to release their games, because if you weren't aware, they do always release their games on a Thursday. Basically, everything they do is always a Thursday. Release trailers, the actual game release, announcement trailers, press releases, everything always seems to be on a Thursday. And the 8th of June 2023 is in fact a Thursday. Also in the past, when they've released the game in June, it has been that week, so that probably is correct information. Everything else on here seems legitimate and correct, so I imagine that one is as well. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way. It does seem like the game will be coming out on the 8th of June. But now we'll read the description. There's plenty of juicy stuff in here, so let's get straight into it. So all the thrills of the real championship in the most advanced, complete and challenging MotoGP experience to date. There is only one. The feeling of racing shoulder to shoulder with the most acclaimed MotoGP champions is back on track once again with a new chapter packed with exciting new features. And just like there is only one rider who will claim the championship in the end, so there is only one official MotoGP game. So that's just kind of the generic thing that they always put at the start of these things to try and hype them up, but it gets interesting after this. A new career to discover. Your ultimate goal might be the same, climbing the rankings from Moto3 to Moto2 to the Olympus of MotoGP, but the way you choose the path of your career has been completely redesigned to give you the most realistic and personal experience ever. The relationship with other riders will play a major role. Rivalries can really influence the race and ultimately your career. So pay attention to the new in-game social media platform and watch your back. And just like real life, crucial moments can suddenly boost your career. These are new turning points, shortcuts to move faster through the different classes with dedicated challenges. So finally, we've been asking for this for years. The career mode has basically been the same since MotoGP 19. Yes, they added the managerial aspect in MotoGP 20, so if you want to be generous, then we could say it's been the same since MotoGP 20, but there's been zero changes. It's been exactly the same, and it finally sounds like some things are changing here. We've got a social media platform. That's something that I actually put in my game ideas video, and something that you guys said you wanted to see as well. Back in the day, there was sort of a social media platform where you could gain followers throughout your career, so whether it will work like that, I don't know. Maybe it'll be like the F1 game where you get to make decisions and you'll get acclaim and things like that, so to actually boost your reputation throughout the career. Obviously, we don't know 100% how it's going to work, but again, it's great just to see that new feature. But these new turning points, shortcuts to move faster through different classes with dedicated challenges, it says. So I don't really know what that entails. Obviously, that's not something we've seen before in the past. So I guess it will remain to be seen what it's like when the game actually does come out or when we see some actual gameplay. But maybe that'll be something like doing a standing ride for an injured rider and performing well and then sort of being shortlisted up the championship. Or maybe just doing really well at a specific race, like maybe in front of like your team's home round. So maybe, for example, if you're riding for like the IO team in Moto2 or Gas and you do well at the Austrian Grand Prix, perhaps they'll see that as something where, you know what, we'll put him up onto the KTM bike into MotoGP, something like that. But of course, that's just speculation from me. So let me know what you guys think these turning points might be. There is still plenty more to read though, so we'll carry on with that one. Whether you're a skilled, seasoned rider or it's your very first time on the two wheels, Motogp 23 knows how to make your experience always enjoyable and motivating. The new neural aid system is designed to analyze your performance and give you real-time support with handling, brakes and acceleration. Dedicated tutorials will let you explore the in-depth aspects of the game and then building on your confidence or perfect your style in the prestigious MotoGP Academy to learn all the tracks and to be a champion. So it seems like they're building on sort of the tutorial aspect of MotoGP 22, which was quite a big thing they added in that game. For example, I remember after my first career mode race, it told me that maybe I needed to turn the AI down because I'd struggled, even though I don't think I did. I think I picked a bad tyre, but for example, it told me that. It also told me that I'd used a lot of tyres, so that was quite good. So it seems like they're going even more into that because they've got real-time support. So when you're on track, maybe it'll even give you tips, which would be very, very interesting. Obviously mentioned in the MotoGP Academy, something they had in the last year's game. But like I was saying, I think this will be pretty good for newer players. Obviously for people like myself and probably a lot of you guys watching as well. You know, maybe it's not so important, but I think for getting new people into the game, I think that's great. So it's good to see there are some more tutorials of people. Moving on to the next section then, everything can change. Easy never made great victories. So if you're up for a challenge, you'll love a new dynamic weather feature. It will bring the highest level of unpredictability into the game with a dry race that can quickly turn into wet mayhem. Make the most of the new flag to flag rules to swap your bikes and get a strategic advantage on your rivals. When everything can change, timing is everything. So finally we've got flag to flag. Probably the most requested feature, maybe second to rider transfers that we've had ever. People have been asking for flag to flag. You know, it's been a thing in MotoGP since 2003, if I'm not mistaken. That rule was introduced, so it is great to finally see it in the MotoGP game. Things I've heard is this is the reason why the game hasn't come out yet, because they've been working on this feature. So it seems like this is going to be true based on this leak here, which is great. It is one of those things that, of course, some people will say it's a novelty, but I just think flag to flag will be so cool. It'll just really change things up. Might make me do longer career mode races, to be honest, because I've generally always done pretty short ones, but this will probably actually get me to do 100%, because to have the ability for it to change on its head like that, you could be having a really bad race, you make the right decision, you change onto the right bike at the right time, and all of a sudden you could win a race you shouldn't have done, and vice versa. You could be out front easily winning, make the wrong decision, and lose plenty of time, and I'm just really excited for that. I'm hoping that it's done right, because, you know, in the past we've got excited for features and then they've never really worked properly, but I'm really hoping that this one does work, because flag to flag, something we've been asking for years. I'd really love to see it. I can't wait to see some gameplay of it. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. Maybe this will push some gameplay out with this leak happening, but this could be good. This could be really good. On to the next section, we've got Make It Your Own. The personal style doesn't only show in the way you ride, it also shines through the look you choose. So unleash your creativity and show off style with the endless possibilities offered by powerful graphic editors. You can now show your creations from D1 thanks to the crossplay feature. So again, we've got the editors, they always do make mention of that. It does sound like it's going to be the same. However, that last line is probably the most interesting thing. So it seems like all the user-generated content is going to now be cross-platform. So maybe if you make it on Xbox, someone can download it on PS4, PS5, you know, the different Xbox platforms. I'm sure they probably were integrated anyway, but if someone makes one thing on one console, you can download it on the other. I'm not sure about PC, because PC wasn't included in the crossplay before with Steam. It just was completely ignored, and I can see later on it does mention crossplay and there's an asterisk next to it, so it probably does tell me that maybe Steam is not going to be included here. But either way, it's still pretty cool if you guys are on console, because on Steam, on PC, we've got mods anyway, so we probably don't really use the editors as much as you guys do on console. So for you guys, it's probably really, really good to see. So on to the final section then, Race Without Limits. To prove you're the best, you need to challenge everyone. Well, now you can. MotoGP 23 features full cross-play to compete with other players regardless of their platform and console generation. And when the competition is in the same room with you, split screen mode will help you find out who the real king of the couch is. Finally, new ranked races will allow you to take on players with the same skill level to enjoy the most intense and challenging duels. So there is the asterisk next to the cross-platform. That's probably, again, the biggest thing for me. Probably tells me, again, Steam is not going to be included, which is a real shame, because there's a good community here on PC, and it's difficult to find lobbies. You can't find lobbies, whereas I've seen, you know, on the console side, it's a lot easier to find a good race to race people, because you've got everybody on every console, whereas you've not got Steam involved. Now, maybe it's alluding to Switch, because Switch isn't going to be included, I can tell you that now. So I'm really hoping that Steam is included in the crossplay, because I think that'd be really cool for us guys to actually be able to have some more people to play with, and for me to be able to play with some of you guys, because I know some of you guys are on console, can't play with you. Also, it's nice to play with you when you're on PC, but when you've not got PC, for example, or I haven't got it on console, for example, so I can't play with you guys on console. Maybe I'll have to pick it up on console if that is the case, just to play it on there a bit as well. But the asterisk does fill me with a little bit of doubt, but I'm just got my fingers crossed that it's just for Switch, and that for Steam will actually be part of the crossplay this time. But again, that was a MotoGP 22 feature being carried over effectively. You can see the last line though, that's probably the most interesting thing, ranked races. So that's probably something we've needed in MotoGP for quite a while. There was back in the day ranking points online. It used to start like 1,000 or something like that, and it would go up if you beat someone, go down if you didn't, and if you disconnected from a race, it'd go down. But they never really worked, because one, if you got kicked out of a race because like you disconnected through internet, you'd lose points. Sometimes the points would just randomly reset, so you'd hop online and you'd have 1,000 again for absolutely no reason. So that wasn't really the best system, so I'm hoping it's a bit better than that. But ranked races, a bit like what the F1 game has, so you get sort of like a safety rating maybe, or a ranking, so you can race against people with similar speed, similar cleanliness to yourself. That would be quite good, because MotoGP can be a bit of a demolition derby, but my only issue with that potential feature is that it might split people up more. If it's a separate mode, then maybe, but again, we don't have that many people playing the game online anyway, so it's better to try and keep them all together. Hopefully with cross-platform, it won't be such a problem, but again, obviously I'm not really 100% sure if they're all going to be there. With the consoles, perhaps you're going to be okay, but with Steam wasn't included in crossplay last time, so maybe that could happen again. And whilst we're talking about the platforms, we may as well actually discuss them a little bit. Seems like it's going to be on both of the generations of consoles, so PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. Of course, it'll be on PC. Looks like it'll be on Switch as well, because there's basically different pages for each platform on this website where it's all been leaked from, so it does seem like you're able to get it on all the same platforms that Motogp 22 was on, which again tells us that it is going to be Unreal Engine 4, although you can kind of tell that from the screenshots anyway. But that's pretty much all the information we know then. That's quite a lot of information though. We don't tend to get this with a MotoGP game. You don't get leaks and things like this very often, so it's actually quite exciting. But the biggest things there we've got to take away, of course, is flag to flag. That's the biggest feature. Finally, a revamped career mode. Those are the two things I'm most excited about. Potential improvements on the crossplay side of things, that would be great. And these ranked races, that's what we seem to have taken from this. And of course, a provisional release date of the 8th of June. I'll let you know if any new information comes to light. I'll probably put it in a pinned comment if I can't add it to a video. I'll make another video if anything else does come to light that I've missed. Are you excited and ready for the game, or are you a little bit more hesitant because we have been bit before in the past? We've been like, oh, this will be a really good feature, and then it's not been. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But I hope you have enjoyed that one. If you are new to the channel, please do like the video and subscribe. It really helps me out. I'll be bringing plenty more Motogp 23 information videos, videos on the game when it comes out, videos on Motogp 22 in the meantime as well. If you like MotoGP games, you like bike racing content, this is the place to be. So do subscribe. But like I said, I hope you did enjoy the video. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.